OnePlus 10T is very good smartphone with premium build quality, a great display, top-tier performance, and insanely fast charging speeds. At $650, it's also one of the best value high-end smartphones with Qualcomm's powerful and power-efficient Snapdragon 8 Plus Zen 1 chipset. It's the first time a OnePlus T phone is being sold alongside the older model while also bearing a near identical design, but the two phones have quite a lot of differences under their hoods. Thankfully, the OnePlus 10T is a superb phone, but it does struggle to justify its price given the existence of company's own Nord 2T, which has the same rear cameras, performs well for a mid-ranger, and costs a lot less. OnePlus has skimmed on the camera specs for the 10T compared to the 10 Pro, and nor does it have the Hasselblad camera branding of the phone. In fact, it has the same 3 rear sensors as the OnePlus Nord 2T, a phone that retails for €400 but is not for sale in the US. So the 10T has a 50 megapixel aperture 1.8 Sony IMX766 main wide-angle sensor with optical image stabilization, which is commonly used on mid-range and flagship Android phones, including the Nord 2T and Find X5 Pro. BBK Group must have a lot of the sensors lying around. OnePlus says it has tweaked the optics compared to the Nord 2T, but it is the same sensor. That's no bad thing too, it's a popular sensor for a reason. Paired with OnePlus solid color tuning, I love the look of the shot in daylight with just the right amount of saturation and contrast of my taste. You will get more heightened processing with Samsung, more aggressive HDR with Google's Pixels, and more true to life colors with iPhone, but OnePlus more than holds its own here. There's an impressive array of software goodies too, with a very good night mode for video, Ultra HDR to beef up contrast, portrait mode, a portrait mode specifically tuned for cats and dogs, long exposure, raw capture, focus tracking, and tons more. The Hasselblad logo isn't printed on the back, but it really doesn't matter when the main sensor results are excellent and backed up by pro camera features for those that go looking. You can also record solid video in 4K at up to 60 FPS and fun slow-mo videos at 1080p. Less impressive are the supporting sensors, but first of which is an 8 megapixel 2.2 aperture ultra wide. It's serviceable and can capture some decent images in good light, but it captures far less detail than the main lens. And with different color signs and no YS, compare this to this Find X5 Pro, which uses the IMX766 for both the main and ultra wide lenses, and the 10T is lagging. Worst is the 2 megapixel macro lens that can take close shots in focus from 2 cm to 4 cm from the subject. It's fun to play with and nice to be able to keep the photos that close, but it struggles with lighting and focus and is very much there, so the phone can be marketing with triple cameras. The OnePlus 10 Pro has a 3.3x optical telephoto lenses in. That said, many competing brands do not put telephoto cameras on their phones at the 10T's asking price, Apple included. But that's how OnePlus justifies the two phones' differences. The 10T is the performance phone while the 10 Pro is the camera phone. It makes sense, but that does not mean the 10T has a bad camera. It just has two inferior sensors found on one of its mid-range devices. The 16 megapixel selfie camera is fine but struggle with white balance in sunnier conditions. It also inferior to the 32 megapixel sensor on the cheaper Nord 2T.